They answered him, saying, "Some say you're Elijah, some say John the Baptist, some say you're the prophet." And Jesus asked Peter, "And who do you say I am?" Peter answered him, "The Messiah." Jesus told him not to tell anyone about him. He said that even though they had confessed Jesus as Christ, they still didn't completely understand what was yet to be accomplished through his death and resurrection. It was also at this same time that Jesus predicted his own death for the first time, that he must die and be resurrected after 3 days. Just to show you that the disciples didn't completely understand the whole story, Peter said that he wouldn't let that happen, and Jesus rebuked him. Peter really didn't have a choice. Now we're going to the who. 6 days after Jesus predicted his own death, he took the 3 disciples, James, John, and Peter, sometimes called the inner circle, up to the mountaintop to pray, as the other disciples in the crowd gathered at the foot of a mountain. While Jesus was praying, Moses and Elijah appeared. Now Moses, as you remember, had a mountaintop experience of his own when he received the law of God, the 10 Commandments. And Elijah, the prophet, also had a mountaintop experience of his own. When he was hiding in a cave from his enemies, Ahab and Jezebel, God told him to stand at the mouth of the cave, and he would pass by and give him further instructions. God spoke to him, not through a tremendous wind, or earthquake, or fire, but a whisper. There were 6 on that mountain. That you were going up that mountain with them, not knowing what you were going to get when you got to the top, because the disciples really didn't understand. After the 4 of them went up the mountain, Jesus went off by himself to pray. The other 3 rested. When they looked up, they saw Jesus, who was whiter and white, talking to Moses and Elijah. Now, if that wouldn't have scared you, I don't know what would. Now, what was said in that conversation isn't exactly clear, and only the Gospel of Luke addresses it, saying that they were talking about Jesus' departure, which he was about to bring to fulfillment in Jerusalem. Now, Peter, who was often known to speak before really thinking, and I can kind of relate with that, said that that it was a good thing that they were there and that they wanted to stay longer, even suggesting they put up tents. And just when things couldn't get any more exciting or frightening, a cloud drops down and surrounds them. Now, I don't know why, but whenever I think you're going to get a message from God, it's going to be one like, "This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him." But maybe it was more like when he spoke to Elijah in a whisper. At any rate, if there's any doubt who this Jesus was, it was made pretty clear to the disciples now. On the way down the mountain, once again, Jesus told them, "Do not tell anyone what you saw until the Son of Man has risen from the dead." The disciples weren't even sure what he was talking about when he was talking about risen from the dead. You have to realize we've got kind of an advantage here because we've read the book. We know the ending. After that glorious and divine event, awaiting for them at the foot of the mountain were the other disciples and a